jump into his demo. Just a few reminders to drop any of your questions in that Q&A box, and then we will touch on all the questions at the very end of the session. So Brandon, I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you for attending today. Again, my name is Brandon Williams, and I am the Director of Strategic Accounts at Ascribe. So a little bit about me. I just celebrated my 5th anniversary with Ascribe, but I've been in and around this industry for a little over 10 years, working previously at Confirmit. I work out of my home office based in New Jersey, and by now, I think you all know what I'm going to talk about because I think I'm the 3rd or 4th session. But before we jump into our newest technology and talk about text analytics, let me give you a quick overview of Ascribe. So Ascribe was founded over 20 years ago with software custom designed for coding in the market research world. Our solutions help our clients uncover insights from text. Our why is to make qualitative analysis easier. And we do this through a combination of our software, some of which you'll see in a little bit, and our professional services team. Ascribe also has partners in over 100 countries and processes over 300 million comments each year on our platform. Helping our clients make sense out of their data is what we do. Okay, so in the last 10 years or so working with text analytics, I've heard a lot of different thoughts about how people think it should work. And it's funny because everyone seems to have a different idea. Do any of you guys have a situation similar to what you see on the screen? You likely do, or at least some variation of it. Either way, this is what has driven us to continue to innovate around text analytics and provide our clients with a variety of ways to analyze your data. That brings me to Theme Extractor, and the real reason why we're here today. So Theme Extractor is our newest addition to our text analytics offering. As we all know, text can come in a variety of flavors. We might have some short, simple phrases or long, complex thoughts that express multiple or even contradictory ideas. In our experience, most solutions work by analyzing or parsing through your text, looking for nouns, adjectives, and verbs, and then they map those out with some results, what looks like here on the left-hand side of the screen. This method is great, and it's one way to analyze your text, but it doesn't work for every data set or every type of analysis out there. With Theme Extractor, we can now stop the exploration method and get to the targeted insights about each theme very quickly. So let's look at checkouts versus have more checkouts open. Any analyst or researcher would be able to conclude that you need to have more checkouts open by exploring everything related to the overall group of checkout. But now, we can very quickly and specifically know that the main theme relating to checkouts is that we need to have more checkouts open. So today we've taken our first steps at introducing this technology into our text analytics family by including it in CXI Go. CXI Go is designed to be a powerful yet entry-level text analytics product that includes our theme extractor for a different type of analysis. So now let's go on to the demo. All right, bear with me for a minute while I get it all loaded up. Okay. And share. Okay, so let me give you a quick real-world example of somebody using CXI Go. The data set that we're going to use today is from a big retailer, and I'm going to play the role of somebody that has worked there for a few months on their insights team. I'm new, but I'm not brand new, and the data here is on the screen. Very typical export from a survey response or survey platform. Prior to this company, I was at one of their competitors. They use Ascribe for their text analytics, so I was familiar with their platform and technology. Now I have a project where I need to produce some results and charts, etc., to share with my team for a little over 1,000 comments very quickly. I asked if I could use Ascribe since my team was just in the process of starting to look at text analytics platforms and was told yes. So what we've done with CXI Go is we've tried to make text analytics and break it down into kind of 3 easy steps. Upload and analyze, visualize, and edit. So the first thing I'm going to do is navigate to my file, clicking upload. I'm going to go over to my store data, and I'm going to click open. So the system's going to start analyzing and it's going to start looking through my text to try and bring it into a loading screen for me. Once this loading screen comes up, well, here we go. All I need to do is take 2 clicks. So I got my question 1 and my question 2. I've got my closed-ended data there. I have nothing else to do except for click analyze. So now, I don't know about you guys, but when you get into about 1,000 comments, it takes me a couple of days to at least produce something that's legible for my team to make sense out of. But what I'm doing here now is taking all of that heavy work and offloading it to the artificial intelligence from Ascribe and into Theme Extractor. So the first step of what we do here is we take all of our text and we turn those short, simple phrases and those long, complex thoughts, and we ask the technology to break them down into segments or important parts of your text. We then ask it to compare those segments against each other, look for semantic proximity, look for relatedness, so that it can take the last step, which is group all of those similar segments together into an overall set of themes, which will produce our initial dashboard here. On the initial dashboard, this is awesome because I've got my top 10 themes to start with. I can start immediately diving into my data. I can scroll down to go through it in a little bit more detail, but remember, my marching orders here are to produce a set of charts and results for my team. So I'm going to go into the edit side, do a little bit of manipulation, exploration from what the artificial intelligence has produced, and then go back to the visualize to wrap everything up. So now that I'm here, on an initial review, we have 45 themes representing around 68% of our data. Now that's a good starting point. You know, like I said before, it leads us to a spot, but what I want to do is ask the system for a little bit more of a helping hand. I want to start with a little broader view. So I've asked it with more codes to just return what it thinks is a better starting set or a broader starting set. Now I've got 76 themes representing 75% of my data. The first one here is have more checkout lanes open. So we can see that there are 66 segments or important segments of time or important parts of time within our text that talk about having more checkout lanes open. And I can scroll through and look at these. I can move them around, do a bunch of different things. What I want to draw your eye to here and what I find really amazing about this technology is that these are all not saying exactly the same thing. They're all slight variations on saying the same thing. So we can see the relatedness and the semantic proximity at work. Now I can also do more. I can click on the button. So for instance, if I want to see this segment and I want to drill down and I want to see the response in its in its entirety, I want to see if there are any other findings or segments there, a respondent ID, whatever data we have, we can certainly do that. Drawing our eyes back to the other side of the screen here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing a simple grouping exercise to condense some of these themes for me. So I'm just going to do a quick search here. I'm going to look for checkouts and registers and maybe lanes and just do a search. Now you don't have to do a search with the text here. It's all, ability just to read what's on the list, but I find this a little bit faster. So I'm going to go here and I see have more checkout lanes open, more registers, faster checkout. I'm going to rename this group. We're going to call this one have self-checkouts. I'm going to have open more, have more checkout lanes open. I see self-checkouts, and then things are a little bit slower. So now I've grouped everything together for this particular theme. Moving on to the next one, I see have more items in stock. So now with more items in stock, I've got 51 segments. Same thing here. I can take a look-see and see what the artificial intelligence has produced as a result. I can click on any of them if I want to explore it in more detail, but I don't have to. Going back to the grouping side now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to search for stocks, and I'm just going to search for items and maybe shelf. I don't know. And I'm going to take these things and condense them down. So have items in stock, keep items stocked. That's about pricing or clearance items. All right. Don't judge my grouping. I'm going a little bit fast here just for the sake of time, but at the end of the day, I think you get the idea of what I'm doing. Now, the very last one I'm going to do, not lower prices. I'm actually going to use the keyword drop down here, and I'm going to see one about employees, and I'm going to grab that. So we see 4. Now, what that's telling me is that there are 4 themes that have employees included in it in some variation. So the system's already going to narrow it down for me. But again, I'm just going to do another quick search, employees and staff. All right, so now I have employees, have more employees on the floor, more employees when needed, have employees smile more. Maybe I'll put that in there. I'll put more and more. And then what we'll change this is we'll say, this is our customer service, more staff group. However you want to do it. I mean, really, the sky's the limit here. If you can imagine a name, you can put the name in there and group whatever items you feel are important. So now at the end of the day, I'm not going to make you guys watch me go through all the rest of the themes here. I know that we're on a time limit. But if I were to have gone through all the themes, a couple of things that I can do from here are that I can save this. So if I want to save this set of themes here, I can save it as whatever I want. That way, if I want to access it again in the future, if I go in and I want to do another study or another project that's similar to this, I can use these themes as a starting spot and then, or a starting space, and then build on top of it. Alternatively, I could turn sentiment on. Now, this is a data set that doesn't really work well for analysis or for sentiment analysis, so we're just going to leave that guy alone, but we could turn sentiment on if we wanted. But at the end of the day, now that I've gone through and done all of my groupings and put everything together, I want to get back to the visualizations, because visualizing is where really we get to the meat of the content. So remember, for the visualizing here, I have to produce charts and tables to send out to my team and even potentially some of my own analysis. So the very first thing I'll do is I'll click on charts and options because I want to turn on the things that I know are important to my team. Again, sentiment, if we want it, is here. I'm going to turn on word clouds because word clouds are something that my team is big into. We're going to turn on closed-end analysis, and we'll just turn these variables down. Click OK. So now what the system is doing is just reading all those options and producing my visuals that I asked it to based on the data that I have uploaded. And from here, we can start doing a couple of things. Now, I can explore this. So for instance, if I want to know more about have more checkout lanes open, I want to read those segments, I can open these. I can see how many responses have this particular segment included in it. You can scroll through this list. You could even download it to share it with a team member if maybe this isn't my area of interest and it's one of my colleagues. So I can download it and share that with them. We can also download the entire chart. So if we want to download the chart here, we'll get a visual file that we're able to then clip into our own PowerPoint, share with our colleagues, whatever it might be. As we scroll down, we see that we have our first word cloud. We can download this. Again, share it, whatever we want to do with it. Our second word cloud. Our third word cloud, it's all the same thing. It's a word cloud, except for they're all based on different ones. So the first one was based on our first group, our second theme, and then our third theme, customer service and staff. And then this tells us what are the topic and themes and words and nouns being used around customer service and staff. Next set down here, we have our crosstabs. So our first set of crosstabs, that closed-ended information that we included when we uploaded it, comes into play here. Now we can download this data if you want to do offline analysis and offline crosstabbing. You can certainly hit the download data button or the download chart and get another visual there to share with everybody. When we scroll down, we got the same thing with another set of closed-ended data. Now all the way at the top of the screen here, we could do one mass export. So we do have an Excel button all the way at the top where you're able to do a mass export. Now this big export will include everything that we just went through. It'll include more than that as well. It has all of the quote unquote findings from our processor. It has more included than just what we have on this side of the screen. Alternatively, like I said earlier, I might need to do a little bit of my own analysis and a little bit of my own write-up before I share it with my team. So I might want to go through and use my filter section here, click on my people that are from my Eastern division, and then maybe that just answered question 1 or sort them out by sentiment and click OK. Now I've just asked the system, instead of having to take it offline, produce it, reduce it, get it into Excel, sort it out myself. I just have the system do it here for me on screen. And whether I download that data, correlate my own analysis, do my own write-up, and then share it, it's all at my fingertips here. So at the end of the day, I'm super excited to share this with my team. I mean, like I said earlier in the setup, my team is just starting to explore text analytics. This is a different way of doing it. It's different than what the rest of the marketplace has typically been showing. I mean, it's exciting. I'm also excited because I'm confident that they're going to ask questions that would have taken us days to get into in the next couple of hours once I send these charts out for them. Okay, so let me wrap up this and stop sharing for one more minute and go back to my slide, my presentation. Okay. So hopefully you all can see it now, but CXI Go is, like I said, brand new and released out today. You can visit our website at any time to sign up for a free trial, app.cxigo.us, or you can go to our full website, www.goascribe.com, and learn more about any of our products. CXI Go is intended to be for small projects, kind of single, simple analysis, not really those enterprise dashboard-based text analytics projects. I really appreciate everybody's time today. I think for now, what we'll do is flip over to some questions and answers, and that's all I have.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Brandon. That was really, really thorough and appreciated by everybody, I'm sure. So we do have just a few minutes for Q&A. So if anybody in attendance wants to pop a question into that Q&A box, we'll be sure to get to that. Otherwise, we can wrap up a little on the early side. One question here from Aniko. Would you say that the best practice is to go through all the themes that the tool generates to get the best results, or is there a general rule of thumb on what proportion of themes to go through?
Oh, that's a really good question. So it comes down to a couple of things, and in my opinion. One is, how much time do you have for the analysis? And then two, what do you owe as a result out of that analysis? So for example, some requests will be, I need to know the top 5, or I need to know the top 10. So that will kind of lead you very quickly to, well, if you only need to know the top 5 or 10, you don't have to go wild, absolutely theming out every single one that's there. But you will want to go through, do a very good job of making sure that synonyms are placed together and overlaps and things like that.
That's perfect. Thank you. All right. I'm not seeing any other questions come in at the moment. So we can give some time back on this Friday afternoon. Brandon, any closing thoughts from you as we wrap up?
No other closing thoughts. Wow. Except for, again, guys, if there's any questions, you can visit our website. It is a free trial for this. It's a brand new product that's launched today. If there are any questions or issues, our support staff is waiting for us. If there's anything on the technical side, we're waiting for you and waiting to answer your questions. So feel free to visit us, and we look forward to speaking with you.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, congratulations on launching CXI Go. It's very exciting. And yeah, to make it really easy, there's a really big book time with me button on the page just above this session. So if you click that, that'll take you automatically to a demo to be set up with the Ascribe team. And Cindy was just asking, how can we get the free trial? You want to reiterate that one more time, Brandon?
Yeah, absolutely. So head on over to app.cxigo.us, and it's just a form that you need to fill out on the screen. I think it's like 3 clicks and you're into the system.
Perfect. I just sent that URL in the chat there. So
thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that technology.
The world we're living in, right? All right, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Brandon. Thank you, everybody, for attending, and we'll see you in the next session.
Thank you, Kara. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye.